Yo, what's going down, everybody? What's going down, GameFaceStudios? It is StraitOuttaBoston here, aka the King of Boston. And before we get this gameplay started, we do have the 2015 first-year player draft to go through. So you're going to see all my picks here. I get Julian Buckner in the first round, and I get this really good third baseman with nice contact ratings already, Steven Rios in the second round. Those are my two biggest pickups. Steven Barksdale, my third-round pick, has a lot of speed. So Buckner is a guy that is more of an all-around player. He's a catching prospect too, which are hard to come by. Catcher's probably one of the, if not the thinnest positions in baseball. Then our second round pick, a very nice contact hitter in Steven Rios, potential third baseman for the future. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we got Longoria locked in for a while, but I'm sure we can move one of those guys around if he really does develop nicely and into a player for the future. And then in our third round pick, we got a really nice speed guy. So at worst, he can be a fourth outfielder who can pinch run off the bench. So I'm really happy with my draft, and hopefully those guys will come up in the next few years. We'll see if we get that far in this franchise. But I expect to do a few seasons on this. I would really like to. You can see we're playing the Detroit Tigers. We entered this game 42-35. The Tigers are 41-33. Now, for the standings in the division, we are probably 9 or 10 games back of the Yankees. They have really pulled ahead and established themselves as maybe the best team in baseball. They have the best record in baseball. We don't have too shabby of a record ourselves, and I believe we are in first or second place for the wild card position. So it does look like we will have a good chance of making the playoffs if we can continue our very strong first half. We are into June at this point. Matt Harvey will be taking the mound. He will go up against Jason Vargas of the Detroit Tigers in today's pitching matchup. Harvey only 6-4, not the biggest or most impressive record, but does have a low ERA and a low opponent's batting average, so it's clear that if he gets run support, he can get it done today, hopefully. And you can see the Red Sox lineup on your screen right now. Nothing out of the ordinary, except we got Chris Davis playing third, Mitch Moreland playing first, and we have Longoria at second, so Kipnis out of the lineup. Craig Gentry in center field, he will bat second. And you can take a look at the Tigers lineup here. Some notables like Andrew McCutchen, Jorge Soler, Mike Napoli, Pedro Alvarez. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not the best lineup in the world. Hopefully we can put it down with Matt Harvey. But Giancarlo Stanton gets the game started off early here in the top of the second inning, I believe, with a solo home run to deep left field, a no-doubt shot off Jason Vargas. Vargas is a very solid pitcher, not really one to stand out from the rest, but he's gotten the job done for the last few seasons for Seattle. He was traded this offseason to the Angels for Kendrys Morales, and a trade that kind of benefited both sides in terms of the Mariners kind of have an influx of pitching prospects coming up soon. They've been trying to trade Jason Vargas for a while, and the Angels had an extra DH now because of Kendrys Morales. Can't really play the field too well these days, and just the fact that they had Pujols and Trumbo and Hamilton now coming over, so they kind of had an influx of power hitting, and they didn't really need Morales anymore. They could use an extra starting pitcher, though, and Vargas was recently placed on the 15 DL with a blood clot, a very scary injury. Hopefully he will be okay. After that leadoff triple there by Chris Iannetta, Johnny Gomes drives him in on the next pitch with a base hit up the middle. So Gentry fields it, fires into second, but the Tigers get the run back, and they tie the game up at 1. So now, later in the inning, 2 runners on. This is where Matt Harvey really started to take over. He strikes out Grant Green on the fastball. I believe that was up and away. Here's McCutchen up 2-2 count. He strikes McCutchen on the fastball up and in. Hard to strike out into McCutchen, but he does so right there. And then a slider. A little bit of a mislocation there, but it does not matter. It all works out. Harvey gets the job done, gets out of the inning. Now bottom 4, 2-2 count to Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez crushes one to deep right field. That is way back, and that is going to clear the fences and stay fair for a solo home run. So Harvey, although had a lot of strikeouts today, did struggle at times, giving up the home run ball. As you can tell, Pedro Alvarez is going to knock that one out of the park for a solo shot, and the Tigers take a 2-1 lead. So the Red Sox offense is going to be called upon to try and bail out their pitcher today. Harvey certainly not pitching terribly, but could do a little bit better. Iannetta up later in the inning. 1-2 count. He takes this one to deep right field, and that one is going to be another solo home run for the Detroit Tigers. I mentioned earlier, Harvey kind of struggled with the long ball today, and Iannetta drives that one out of the park. His hot day continues, a triple and a home run for the catcher of the Detroit Tigers so far today. Very impressive performance by him. I believe he was a member of the 2007 Colorado Rockies World Series team. I believe he made a name for himself in Colorado, and then I know he was on Anaheim or LA the last year, I think. So anyway, later in the inning here, 1-2 count to Johnny Gomes. Gomes will strike out on the slider down and away. Harvey would go 6 solid innings with 12 strikeouts, an incredible 2 strikeouts per inning, but he would end up allowing about 3 runs, I believe. Here is Willen Rosario in the lead off the top of the 5th inning. He hits that one in between the 6-5 hole for a base hit, and Rosario get things started with the leadoff base runner for the Boston Red Sox. Now later in the inning with 2 outs, Alex Gordon is up the 1-0 count to him. Gordon hits this one to deep left field. That is way back, and that is going to just get over the wall into the bullpen, I believe. Unless that reached the stands, I couldn't quite tell. But that is going to be a 2-run home run for Alex Gordon. He ties the game up at 3, going Oppo-Taco off of Jason Vargas. And that will tie the game up. As I said, 3-3. The Red Sox bail out their pitcher, and Harvey now will no longer look like he might get a loss here. Top 5 still Craig Gentry up, and he is going to hit this one into right field. That is going to be fielded, though, by Jorge Soler in right, and that will end the inning. So the Tigers escape, only giving up those 2 runs, but it is a 3-3 ball game. Now top 6, 3-0 count to Troy Tulowitzki, and Vargas is going to end up walking Tulowitzki on ball 4, a changeup down and in that apparently missed location. I imagine that was more supposed to be closer to the middle of the plate, if not outside, but later in the inning, now 1 out, Giancarlo Stanton up. He lines that one down the left field line for a base hit. That will get into the corner. Fielded by Johnny Gomes on left. He will fire it into the cutoff man, and it will be a double for Giancarlo Stanton. So his great day continues. Tulo moves up to third base, and we got runners on second and third with 1 out. Now, Scott Atchison will come in and relieve Jason Vargas. His day will be done. Atchison, decent season so far, 4.19 ERA. I'm sure he'd like to get that down. 1 out still in the inning. Chris Davis up during next batter. He hits that one over the first baseman's head for a base hit that will score 1 run. Stanton will be held up at third, although a very weak throw from Jorge Soler. Maybe Stanton could have scored there, not quite sure. Anyway, it does not matter because later in the inning, now Willen Rosario up, the 2-0 count to him. Rosario takes this one to deep left field. That will be over and fielded by Johnny Gomes, but Stanton is tagging at third. He will come in, the throw is cut off. It will go to second as a heads-up base running play by Chris Davis. He advances to second base. Now we got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Chris Carter is up, the 0-1 count to him. Carter hits this one just past the first baseman for a base hit. It looks like Davis will be waved around. The throw from Soler is in time, and Chris Davis is thrown out on home plate. So that will end the inning for the Tigers, but the Red Sox do get 2 runs. Now skipping ahead here, top 9, Darren Oliver on to pitch. Chris Davis is going to get things started with a leadoff base runner. Mariano Rivera warming up in the pen for the Sox, but we will try to add on some insurance and maybe prevent him from having to be used today. Here's Willen Rosario up, 1-1 count. Rosario, who crushes left-handers, if you did not know, a 97 power rating versus lefties, takes that one out of the yard for a 2-run home run, and the Red Sox extend their lead, doubling it from 2 to 4. Now it is 7-3. Red Sox on top. Rosario goes yard. And now later in the inning, Mitch Moreland is up. The first pitch to him. Moreland hits this one just past the diving second baseman for a base hit. Grant Green could not put a glove on it, and Moreland is on as the Red Sox will get a 1-out base runner here, looking to add on even more insurance and maybe try to put this game away. Now Moreland on second base. Alex Gordon already with 1 home run today, hits this to deep left field. Does he have another? Yes, he does. Johnny Gomes will not be able to track that one down as it ends up in the bullpen, and it's a 2-run home run for Alex Gordon. The lead is now 9-3. Tim Burdack, who had come on in relief for Darren Oliver at some point in the setting, allows a 2-run home run to Gordon, and it's a 6-run lead for the Red Sox, and this game looks all but over. Gordon with a very impressive day, 2 home runs, even though as a leadoff hitter, not expected to do so, he does have a little bit of power. Tulowitzki later in the inning is going to end up being retired by, I believe that was Peter Moylan. I am so bad against submarine pitchers, I don't know what it is, but I guess it's just the crazy arm angles, and I don't know. But either way, it is 9-3. We're going to enter the bottom of the 9th inning, and we will bring on Mariano Rivera. We decided to use him just to give him some extra work. He hadn't pitched in a few days. I decided why not. 1-0 count to Pedro Alvarez. He's done it once already today, and he's going to do it twice. Pedro Alvarez, another solo home run. That will cut the lead to 9-4. Alvarez showing off some power. He's had a very impressive year for the Pittsburgh Pirates so far this season. I believe he had like 9 home runs in June or something like that, and he has something like 19 on the season. Very, very great year out of Pedro Alvarez, and it appears that he's having a similarly good year for the Detroit Tigers in this franchise. Now, 1 runner on second base. Johnny Gomes will ground that one to Longoria at second, and that will retire the side, and the game will end. The Red Sox take it home 9-4. They improve their record by an extra game. Now they're, what, 45-31, I think, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what their record is, but either way, trying to secure one of those wild card positions, if not, make a run on the New York Yankees as we enter kind of the second half of the season. We're pretty close to it as July will be coming up next, and we will see what happens then. Anyway, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video, so I thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out.